and thank you for tuning in. Today we will be discussing this Kenner battle wagon that was originally for the Ewoks and then repurposed for the Prince of Thieves. Here's Squidhead from the movie Return of the Jedi, which they later used as the card back art. And here he is with no accessories. And here's the box that my two action figures came in, made out to jibber jabber action figure. So let's open up and see what we've got inside. Now again, the reason why I needed two loose squid heads is because Mr. Scatterbrains here, I misplaced the other two loose ones that I was going to use for this video. I put them together and then I misplaced them. I don't know where they're at. I figured I didn't want to go on a wild goose chase or, an endless hunt for Red October and nothing becomes of it. So I figured Star Wars Daddy could remedy me this issue by swapping what he needed. He needed parts for his battle wagon from the Prince of Thieves, and I needed two Squidhead action figures. So he agreed to the deal, and here's what he sent me. We'll take a look real quick. Got some stickers of Grogu, some beautiful cards from Star Wars, the modern ones up there and the vintage ones there, and of course the two original vintage Squidhead action figures. I got a Boba Fett pin, a wonderful magnet for my fridge, but then I realized that the magnet had this adhesive that was not very sticky, not very strong, and it came off. So I figured, well, I'll just use a little bit of glue, and that would take care of it. And normally I use the E6000, which takes approximately 24 hours to cure. But today I thought I'd use this instead. I like to call it Hush Hush Shoe Goo. And if you're of a certain age, you know what I'm referring to. Although it sounds like gibberish. If you're old enough, you'll know what it comes from. Here's my green folder with my green bordered cards. And although I have a complete set here, I don't show the goldenrod error card and the correction. But here I'm showing them on these two orange bordered cards. But don't get excited, these are not the real thing. These are reproductions. Everything else is real. And so this is the back of the binder where I place pretty much any Star Wars cards that are incomplete. They don't come from a complete set. It's just a handful here and there. And so these two will do nicely right there in those little spots. And then the last page here, I wanted to use for the two foil hologram cards. I'm not sure how they refer to them as, but their colors are brilliant. They pop. They're very crystal clear. They seem to be laminated or something to that treatment, and they're just beautiful. So I put those there, and I'll put them away for safekeeping. So back to the figures. Here's what I got. I got one with the weapon and one without, but if you notice, his skirt has a little bit of staining on it, but it's not too big of a deal. They're still intact and still complete. Now, if you see the cape on this one here on the right, how it has those ridges, well, the one from Mexico sometimes comes that way. Although I checked the coup, the country of origin, for both figures, and they both say HK, which simply means Hong Kong. But an interesting factoid, in 1997, Hong Kong, previously being a British territory, rejoined the force. Or maybe they were forced to rejoin with China. Or the way I like to say it is China. I think it sounds more presidential that way. And so here are the two carded versions I have. The two MOCs, the mint on cards. And one has a clear bubble and the other does not. But they're both 1983 77 backs. But maybe if we see the back side, we'll discover where they come from. So here's the first one with the clear bubble. It's a 77 back. And it comes from, if you look at the fine print, and zoom in here. You got it. Good old Mexico. And one of the practices in Mexico, and I keep forgetting to check my MIMS, my Made in Mexico cards, is this little puncture you see right there. I don't know if they did it with a thumbtack or some other device, but when they remembered to do it, they did it. And I believe that's just to allow the figures to off-gas and dry in a better manner so that they don't smear or smudge inside the bubble. Now, this is the other 77 back. Yet this one comes from Hong Kong, or how I like to say it, China. I just like an excuse to say China. So here's the two cards. Again, Mexico did not use bromine in the material, in the plastic bubble, as a fire retardant, as the other ones were, I should say. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and informative, and maybe even a little funny from time to time. And I'm hoping that I could tempt you to come back in future videos to see even yet more Star Wars action figures. Thank you again for your time.